The first 6 months has been like wrestling like a cute tiger. We've definitely had our ups and downs.
And I felt like there was quite a lot of pressure, and I felt like it weighed on me quite heavily.
I'm going to say this, and I think I might get some hatred. I want something doing now to my standard. Don't ask any questions. Pitchforks and fire incoming.
If I looked back now, I'd probably think, wow, I was probably a little crazy.
It's us against them. It's us against all of that.
No, I'm not on my greatest form with you, but I think I'm more laid back than you are.
I love you. I hate you.
What has the first 6 months taught you about control or lack of control? As the control freak in our house, I ask you. Welcome to our 10th episode, quite a milestone today, of At Home with the Hutchinsons. You're joined by me, Amelia, and Cameron is here with us today as well. And we are celebrating not just our 10th podcast episode, but we're actually looking back slightly to 6 months of us having Gabriel. We're actually 7.5 months in, but it's always good to look back. So we're thinking about all the changes that happen at 6 months. So I'm going to ask for your take on 6 months. We actually reached 6 months over the Christmas period. What was your take on him turning 6 months?
Well, the actual day he turned 6 months was quite a stressful day. So we had lots of things planned on that particular day, which maybe we didn't actually go through to fruition with. But I would say the first 6 months has been like wrestling like a cute tiger. Because he's cute and you love him, but he's also very difficult to manage at times. And I've never managed a tiger. So I think I've learned, you've learned, we've grown. I think we've definitely had our ups and downs from an emotion perspective. But yeah, that's kind of the analogy I'm using in my head, which I realise sounds quite stupid, but like you're wrestling a cute tiger.
Yeah. Okay.
You?
For me, I felt like there was quite a lot of pressure reaching 6 months because it comes with starting solid foods, it comes with changing them out of the bed, it comes with more milestones physically, sitting up, rolling over, and I felt like there was quite a lot of pressure for him to make a lot of these changes very suddenly, and I felt like it weighed on me quite heavily, probably more so than it did on you as I'm with him more. But I feel like looking back now, I feel like everything we've done has worked out really well. But I do think for me there was this, oh my gosh, he's 6 months and lots of things need to change, and actually that's not correct because not every milestone he was hitting in order to be ready for all those things.
No, and also we've talked about this before, the unnecessary level of pressure that you put on situations, maybe because you're the mom. I don't know whether or not I'm allowed to say that. Pitchforks and fire incoming from all the moms to the dads. But you do, you like you've just said there, oh, the pressure of the 6 months. Well, actually, no, he's 7.5 months and he's not sitting up exclusively on his own, and he's not, as I joked the other day, cartwheeling around the park reciting Latin. No, he's not. But he actually he's where he needs to be right now. And we can compare him to other children or other babies based on the fact that maybe they are sitting up or they are on more solids than he is, or they've done something quicker or slower. But actually the development of our son, based on the environment that he is in, I'm going to pat ourselves on the back. I think we're doing remarkably well.
I am as well, and actually, although there was the pressure, we very quickly analysed what he was ready for and what he wasn't ready for. For example, he is loving solid food. Everything that we've given him, he is wolfed down.
Burgers and steak especially. No, we are not feeding him McDonald's, just in case you were wondering. We are responsible parents. But, 100% meat burgers, homemade. Yeah, he's loving them.
Yeah, he is. And it's great. But he's not changed into his big bed yet. So he's still
Much to my frustration, he's not changed into
it's a
his big
disagreement
bed.
It's a disagreement and it's a transition that we will be making. But he is having his naps in his big bed. And I feel like that is, again, in his way, he's ready for that.
I mean, I think we could transition him into his big bed today. Maybe we'll do it today, actually.
We don't do it
Yeah, why
today.
not? because I think the whole transitioning him into the big bed, and listen, I think this big bed thing is like a wider. I think we are not the only people who have this feeling and
No,
thought,
no,
would I
we're
like
not.
our bedroom back? Yes.
Yeah,
Would I
and when
like
we say the big
our bedroom
bed,
back for us? Yes.
it's not just the big bed, it's him coming out of our room. I think that's more the point rather than it being a bigger bed.
And then we have to get the girls out of our room so that it's just me and you sleeping in the bed, not me and you and two dogs and a baby at points.
If you've met our dogs, though, they will never not sleep on the bed. So it's a dream, but it's a nice one. But I do think we've done a lot of things right. And looking back, I feel like he's in a good position at 6 months. But I just feel that there is a pressure, which is why I think it's quite interesting. We posted out yesterday some to our family and friends and our podcast followers to ask us questions about 6 months, because I do feel like it is quite a big milestone, even though you wouldn't let me buy the half birthday hat and banners and celebrate. You were not in the mood for that.
Not in the mood because it's not a birthday.
But it is a
He's
milestone.
6 months. Okay, but he's 6 months old. Come 12 months. Believe you me, we will be down to that place on Sakim. What is it called? Where you buy the cards and the balloons and the presents and what is it called? Creative Zone? Creative Minds. This house will be decorated for 12 months, his actual birthday. But for 6 months, I think maybe it's a guy thing. I think if you were to survey men versus women, men would say, no, his birthday is on 12 months, not 6.
But 6 is a milestone. And for that, we have some questions. Now, we have not read or seen these questions yet, so I'm going to pick some at random, and then we're going to see what our viewers and our followers have to say. So I'm going to start with an interesting one. How do you think we've adjusted from becoming husband and wife to becoming mum and dad first?
So adjustments from being husband and wife to being mum and dad.
Yeah.
Well, that is quite a poignant question, isn't it, for this morning's
Juggling act.
this morning's juggling act. I would say, personally, how deep can we go? How deep are you prepared to go? No, sod it. We're in our home. We're going to be honest. I'm going to say this, and I think I might get some hatred, but I don't care. I think that when you become mother and father, the father naturally falls down the pecking order.
Okay.
Kind of understandable, I guess. But when you exclusively look at our relationship, 15 years of being Cameron and Amelia, 10 years of being married, I've been your number one and you've been my number one. And now I'm your number 5.
You actually used to say that Poppy was your number one before me.
She is. Oh. Okay, so you've always been my number 2, but you're still my number 2, maybe 3 because Gabriel is slightly above. But I think as a, and I'm speaking only from my own experience, as a husband, my role as a husband changes from being your husband to now I've got to be a caregiver or supporter or of my family. And your responsibility has changed because your now main responsibility is making sure that Gabriel is happy and healthy and fed and learning and sitting up and cartwheeling around the park reciting Latin at 6 months. You know, those are your responsibilities. And naturally, I fall down the pecking order.
Yeah, I think it's deep, but I actually agree. And I think sometimes it's difficult because you are caring for someone who needs everything and you don't always know what they need. And that's... We've had a couple of moments where it's like, why is he, he's fed, he's dry, he's changed, and you do just have a moment of, oh my goodness, what's going on? We're putting it down to teething at this point, but...
But what do you always say, and what have I now started to use against you? So we will have those moments where we feel like, oh my God, we've tried everything. Like, as you say, he's fed, he's watered, he's changed, he's everything else. The dogs are going crazy. I've just spilled dinner all over the floor. We're running late, whatever. And you say, yeah, I can, but remember, it's us against them. It's us against all of that.
Well, yeah, if we don't
not
work as a
us
team.
against each other.
No, and it's very easy to go against each other because nobody else can argue back with you. And it is very easy to snap, and I'm going to be the first to admit it. But...
Yeah, Amelia, this is an interesting fact. Amelia in the middle of the night, or maybe any mommy in the middle of the night, steer well clear. Animal may bite. Do not put fingers through the bars of the cage.
Yeah, I think when you've been up 3 or 4 times in the same night, no, I'm not on my greatest form with you. That's life.
But
and I
we
make no
wake
apologies.
up in the morning and we say, good morning, everything is forgiven, all things said yesterday are absolved, welcome to another day.
But I think what you said is right. And I think it is hard, and you do have to have that time to reflect. And we are very fortunate that we have some help, and we have actually prioritised. I really do think since Christmas especially, prioritise some time together, whether that's at home or whether that's heading out for a couple of hours, whether it's a walk, whether we take Gabriel with us, but we walk and talk after work, that kind of thing. But yeah, I do agree. I think it's important, but I do think it's hard, and especially hard when you're in the first few months where it is just milky dreams and feed and 3-hour wake windows and all of that. It's even harder to function, let alone maintain the relationship that we have.
Okay, so can I choose a question, please?
Absolutely.
So there is a lot, and I actually haven't looked at them until now, but I'm going to say, or I'm going to ask you, what has your favourite stage so far been, and why?
It's really difficult to choose, and actually every time he evolves or change, I think this is my new favourite. So the absolute tiny little baby newborn, and he was tiny when you look back at him in pictures of clothes, which were, for newborn babies, and he was tiny in them. So that was obviously gorgeous because he was just all snuggles and skin to skin, and that was gorgeous. But then every time he changes now, I think this is my favourite stage. So he's sitting up, he's much more engaged, he smiles, he laughs. So I feel like it's hard to say this is my favourite stage other than the absolute newborn, because every time he changes, it's just more fun. He sits at the table with us now, and even though he's not talking back to us, he's engaged, he listens.
Okay, but then let me ask you this then. Is there a moment or a day where you think, oh my God, I'd love to just go back to that exact moment and just have it on replay?
Not on replay, but I would go back knowing what I know now into the hospital days, because it is just such a blur, and I feel like it passes you by and you don't know if it's day or night, and you just know that in 90 minutes you're going to have to wake the baby to feed them. And it's just, in that moment I was desperate to come home, and actually then I kind of thought, why? Because everything I need is here, and we had everything we needed in that hospital room. So
isn't it weird though that whole, it's like a microcosm, like you're just in there in like a vacuum.
Well, I didn't leave that room for 4 days. So when I finally came out and everything was bright corridors, I was thinking, oh my goodness. I mean, you'd been in and out because you went with Gabe for, various checkups. But yeah, it was a strange thing.
You had your nice comfortable bed. I had the nice sofa.
Better than what people get in other parts of the world, though.
No,
We've heard about the
true.
uncomfortable chairs in the NHS and the UK.
I feel like we need to do a whole episode on the hospital, because actually over the time of doing this podcast, I've had fathers reach out and be like, okay, so like, what is the situation? Like, what happens? Like, do you go in? Do you stay with the mom? Like,
could be a whole episode, because it's really interesting. One of the first questions you get at these mum and baby groups is, where did you give birth? And it's actually quite a big thing here. And they're obviously your big brand ones and your smaller ones, and everyone wants to share their experience. So yeah, I think we could definitely. What's your favourite moment? What would you freeze time in?
Hearing him laugh for the first time, but not like a because he's got wind, a proper, again, probably too much information, but you nuzzle into his neck and you just give him a little snuggle, and he does a belly laugh, he's just I just can hear it that. For me, just keep replaying that. That would be great.
I do remember the first time he was on the changing mat, and it just sounded
all his... You can remember the exact first time he was on the changing mat.
It was all his smiles just linked together into a laugh, which sounds really silly, but that's what it seemed like to me. Right, I'm going to go with another question. You
Okay,
ready?
go, yeah,
How
go.
are we doing? I think we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Being
Well, I don't
honest,
know.
honest and
The
deep.
thing is, all of these things are fairly subjective. How we feel versus how somebody else feels is going to be totally
Yeah,
different.
it is. But I do think 6 months is poignant because everybody has these same worries and thoughts, and maybe not everyone gets the time to reflect back, and this might help other people reflect back on their first 6 months. And
The one thing I will say, though, is it's like when you turn 30, or it's like when you turn 18, or 6 months in. As humans in society where we compare ourselves to other people or other things, it's like, oh God, I'm turning 30. 30's been my best ever decade so far. Had a fabulous time. And actually 6 months, have we ripped up the rule book and started again? No, like I feel like these milestones arrive and actually, is he happy? Are we happy? Are we learning? Are we all developing and growing in the same way? Yes.
is it more the apprehension then of turning 30?
Oh, I think there's a whole podcast on that episode as well, so stay tuned. Come on then. Tell me, you need to turn, I'll be honest with you, you keep having to unlock your phone. You should just have it, we live in Dubai, we don't have to do the security safety thing. Keep the phone unlocked.
I still cover my pin when I put it in.
Don't.
Not that I use my card lock, but... okay, what has the first 6 months taught you about control or lack of control? As the control freak in our house, I ask you.
That you can control the controllables. And I know that's a very banded about phrase, but it literally couldn't be the most valuable piece of feedback. Control the controllables, because actually in the first 6 months we've gone from I hate you, I love you, let's sell the house, let's keep the house, let's do this, let's do that, we're amazing parents, oh my God, we're shit parents, I love you, I hate you, like we literally up down up down up down. And actually the one thing that you can control is how you approach a situation.
Yeah.
And I think even though we have had our ups and downs, we still respect each other. Sometimes in the middle of the night or early morning, we might not to each other.
Well, we made a rule that whatever happens in the night doesn't count. Because we just got to a point where I was grumpy, you were being quite annoying, and I just said, we're fighting, and actually we're fighting because we're tired. We're not fighting because we're mad about anything in particular.
So there we go. You've literally just confirmed my point, which is we can control the controllables.
Yep.
We know we're going to be grouchy. We know we're going to say things that we don't mean. We know that we're going to be tetchy and tired. Actually wake up in the morning and move on. So that's an example of controlling the controllables. I think the other thing which we've had to massively adjust is patience. Now, I'll use myself as an example here. I am very impatient. I want something doing now to my standard. Don't ask any questions in all aspects of life, work, play, home, everything. And it's difficult. Whereas when you have a baby tiger, he doesn't listen. He's not going to go to the toilet when you want him to. He's not going to sleep when you want him to. You just got to adjust, which is difficult. You?
I think, yeah, there gets to a point where you can only control the controllables. But I also feel like we've built some really good routines. Like bedtime is a really strong routine for us now.
Yep.
He knows the drill. We get him changed into a sleep suit. We give him his milk. We rock him off. Again, another contentious point of whether you put your baby down awake or asleep. But we rock him off and we have some really good routines. But I think it takes time to build those. And I think, yes, you can control that to a certain point, but you can't control everything. But I think I'm more laid back than you are. So if something doesn't go to plan, for example, he's not going straight off to bed, then we change and we adapt. But I do think I'm more laid back and more patient than you. But I think that comes from doing the job that I've done, working with children my whole life. You disagree that I'm more laid back?
This is me controlling the controllables. How I react to a point I disagree with is how we will move on. I think, yes, maybe a little more patient than I am. But again, and do you know what's really interesting about this? And I'm going to say this now. If you are a single parent and you're doing it on your own.
Yeah, kudos.
Whatever the highest award is that you can award yourself, wow. Because there are times when I need you to catch me. There are times when you need me to catch you. There are times when we need to meet in the middle. There are times when having somebody to do it with is make or break for me personally.
We have Dalika, and sometimes she catches both of us. So
big up Dalika. Okay, can I ask one more question, please?
Go on then. Make it a good one. Thanks to our followers and family and friends, we've had some good ones. I also banned Cameron from adding in questions.
Pardon?
I banned you from adding in your own
I don't want to add questions. We don't need to. Okay, there's two, but I'm only going to go with one because I think actually it's quite poignant based on life generally, where we find ourselves in the 21st century. And it's instincts versus ChatGPT.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to replace ChatGPT with Google. And I'm going to say I Googled a lot of stuff in the first few weeks. Which, if I looked back now, I'd probably think, wow, I was probably a little crazy. I think some of it comes with instinct. But I think there are a lot of things that come from conversations with people with babies around the same age, things that you wouldn't have known about. I never knew about the 4-month sleep progression until it became the hottest topic around the coffee club table. But I think I think it's good we have sources that we can look at, but also there are certain things, and you just know, for example, I know that rocking Gabriel to sleep is the right thing to do because he goes down calm and collected, whereas friends have said, why are you not just putting them in the crib and letting them just settle themselves? Which he does do throughout the night. But I know in my instinct that's the right thing for him. But I think it takes a lot to actually say back to somebody, no, that's not what we do, and this is the reason why.
Yeah.
And I think even we have this, because I think rocking him to sleep is the best thing. And sometimes you're thinking, well, actually, let's progress, let's move on, let's just put him down. And we have to have these obviously discussions, disagreements. But yeah, there was definitely some weird.
But can I just say, because I think instincts versus Google or instincts versus ChatGPT are two different things. Because are we going to Google what the optimum temperature is to serve his milk? Yes, fine. But have I since Gabriel has arrived used an AI functionality to help me with Parenthood? No, and I'll say no on the basis that I've just thought I think I know what I'm doing and it feels right, so I'm going to do it. But I would say this, I do see merit in using a ChatGPT or a Gemini to help you, because maybe we have missed things. But then my argument is, it's real life, it's real parenting. We live and we learn.
We can only do what we can do. Controlling the controllables.
Control the controllables, indeed.
Well, I'd say we've done pretty well for 6 months. And the main thing is he's happy, healthy, and currently sleeping, which is what we love.
Indeed.
Let us know how your first 6 months went, and let us know if you have any more questions, and we will try our best to come back to you.
Well, there's been a lot, and I feel like maybe we'll put something out on the socials and maybe do an actual Q&A, because there's loads of questions still that we've not been able to answer.
And there were some really, really good ones. So yeah, we can definitely do some responses to that. But let us know how your little one is doing at 6 months, and if you enjoyed this episode, please follow us for more good content, parenting advice, marriage tips, jobs, business, and everything in between that we're going to try and cover. But please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.